Welcome to my channel. So this tutorial is on bra cup caging. So if you have been struggling with flatness on your caging, you should definitely watch this video because you're going to be learning a lot. I'm going to be explaining to you why your bra cup is always flat after you cage and what you should do to always prevent this. So here is the 4 pieces for the bra cup. So remember our breast is 2, so you're going to be needing 4 pieces. So this is the main fabric and the lining piece that I have just set aside on my table. So I'm going to be showing you how I arrived at that. So let's just follow this tutorial. So the first one, the kente fabric, is the main fabric, and the other plain fabric is the lining fabric. So I'm going to be doing my markings on the lining fabric. So you can see the first line I marked was the mid line, so that is like the bust point. So you mark it all the way across to the just mark it straight like that. So the second line you're going to mark is in between the bust point and the shape of the bra cup. So you're going to just mark it like that. So I have 3 lines marked now, so you mark the other side the same way, so making it 3. So now the next line I'm going to be marking is the horizontal lines. So for the horizontal line, you're going to divide the bust point and the curve of the bra cup. You're just going to divide that into 2 and mark that. And I'm just showing you the other 2 lines that you're going to be needing. And you're also going to be shaping your bra cup round as well. So you're going to be shaping your boning round as well. So I'm just going to be explaining more of that in the sewing of the the bra cup. So here I'm starting with my first line. So you want to avoid some mistakes while you're sewing your boning. I don't normally iron my boning when I want to cage. So what I just do is I make sure that the boning is in a curved manner. So you make sure that the part that is curved is the side that is facing you, as you can see the way I am doing, and make sure that your bra cup piece is hollow inside. You don't want to flip it outside, so just make sure it's inside so the bra cup can sit, so the boning can sit perfectly inside it, just the way I am sewing it. Just make sure that you're sewing it like that. Don't flip it to the other side and start sewing your boning on it. Sew it this way and you're going to have a neat finishing. So I'm done sewing the first line. I'm going to be sewing the second line now, and I'm going to be showing you, so you can see the direction of my boning. My boning is, I make sure that the curved part is facing up. So I'm going to start sewing the second line like that. So you want to realize that the boning has 2 sides. So after you're done sewing one side, you're going to sew the other side as well. So I'm just cutting where my boning will reach, and I'm just going to be sewing all the way down there. So you want to try as much as possible to curve your boning while you're sewing, and don't make it too straight to get a good bone channel. So here is I've gone ahead to do the third one. So you can see when I flip the bra cup out, see what is looking like. So what I was explaining earlier is you don't want to sew on your bra cup like this with the boning. So you put it inside. So can you see the way I flip the bra cup inside before I started sewing the boning on it? So that's how you should always sew it. So now I'm just doing the horizontal parts now. So the first part I did was that part right there. So you're just going to sew all the way to the part that has your wording, so you can see that. So once I'm done doing that part, I'm just going to be sewing the other parts of the boning. So don't worry, I make sure that this tutorial is very detailed. I did not miss any step because I want you to get it very well. So once I'm done sewing this part, I'm just going to be sewing the other parts. So that's what I was just showing you with my hands. So when I was done doing that, I went ahead to do the parts that has the joining. So you can see the way I'm doing it. So one other thing I'm going to tell you is that while you want to try to achieve a bra cup or boning that is not flat, please make sure that you get your contouring right while you're cutting your bra cup. So you don't want a flat cup, you don't want to start up with a flat cup, so you want to get your pattern drafting right. I'm going to be dropping a video later where I was drafting the pattern for this bra cup, so you can see that my bra cup did not start up flat as well. So that is another important thing that you have to note. So it's not like you start with a flat cup and you expect magic. No. So now the next thing I'm doing is that part that goes into the neckline. So I'm just going to be doing it the same way I did the other horizontal part. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to show you how you're going to do the round parts of the cup. So there it is. I'm done with that part. I'm almost done with that part, sorry. So once I'm done sewing that, I'm just going to be sewing the other side. So that is what it was looking like. You can see I'm showing you the steps every part of the way. So here I want to start sewing the round part of the boning, the cup. So now one thing I'm going to tell you is that different ways to achieve this. You can go in with your plier and just remove some of the string that is inside the boning, so you can achieve a more curved bone. But I don't do that. I don't normally do that because I don't even have a plier. Or you can use, some people use a seam ripper, but what I just do is I make sure that I don't iron my boning. My boning is still, you can see, is curved already. So I'm just going to go in to start curving it. So when I get to that part that is really curved, so you can see the way I'm just using my hands to make sure that it goes with the direction of the boning. So I just take my time very well at this point, honestly, and that is just how I get the perfect one. So I just take my time very well. So you can see me just taking my time at that point, and I'm just going to be sewing it all the way to the other parts. So that is just the trick to it. So once I get to that upper part, I'm going to cut off the remaining boning and I'm going to sew the other side of the boning. So you're going to see how I'm going to sew the other side as well. So you see how it's just going to align and there's not going to be any you know any curved or any parts that is not curved. So you're going to see that now. So I've started with the other parts, so you're just going to sew it round. Remember I told you that you sew your boning inside your cup, the way it's hollow, like the left side will be inside. So this will also help you when you're sewing this curved part. If you have flipped the cup to the other side, it's not going to be easy for you to sew this part. So just sew it the way I am sewing it. Don't flip your cup to the other side. So just make sure it's inside like that, and you keep on sewing your boning channels like that. So that is how to get that perfect round shape at that side. So I'm just going to be top stitching the end, and I'm going to make sure that I secure it very well. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to cut my thread, and we're going to see what next I did. So here is what it was looking like. You can see that it's actually perfect. So that is how I achieved the boning on this back up. So you know that you still have to flip it to the wrong side while you want to sew. So you can see it's not flat at all, it's not flat at all. So even when you place your main fabric on it, it's still going to be so perfect. So I'll probably be dropping the fleshing of this later on, because I still went ahead to flesh this after I had done the caging, but that will be later, a later tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.